Kyoto? Chiaro. Oh, that's an I. Chiaro
Yeah.
Sputo. Okay.
Scudo.
And
Yeah,
you
it's
said,
good.
and you said that it is not a sin to have a vibrato. Okay.
No.
Totally opposite what I was taught for many years, and to work on those, and
Yeah.
and to get.
Beautiful. Yes. And so how has your work on those topics been? Have you felt like you've been able to move more in that direction with your vocal studies?
When I'm singing home alone, yeah, I do it. Some
Good.
of my students haven't come because I usually had students that came every Saturday, and I sing with them as they're doing. The one that does the piano lesson wants me to sing along with her because it helps her to keep on with what she's doing. So when I start doing vibrato and everything, at first she just looked at me, but then she, oh, I like that. And then
Yeah.
my guitar students, she definitely she picks out all kinds of music. She even likes the old folk songs, and she puts it up in a book. And she's playing the guitar, and I play the piano, and she wants me to sing. And
Mm.
she likes it. She goes, "Oh, that sounds a little different." So
I
she
love
noticed
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. Beautiful.
I
Good.
said
Yeah.
that's the way
And,
people
and
used
this
to sing.
Yes, and I want you to know that. Oh, let me back up and just say a couple things.
Sure.
First of all, I want you to understand that you can sing in any style that you want, and we can build any style that you want, and that what I'm responding to in you is that you obviously you enjoy classical vocal music. At least that's one type of music you enjoy. And I would say that feels to me after getting to know you that that type of singing is relatively high on your of styles of singing, higher than heavy metal, let's say, way higher than heavy metal, right? And so because you have this passion for classical singing, what we're doing is build where I feel a responsibility to do is to build your solo classical voice.
Thank you.
But understand that sometimes there are going to be songs that a guitar student might do or a piano student might do where singing like a full out opera diva might not be appropriate for that type
Exactly.
of song.
Exactly.
And giving yourself permission to, like, okay, this isn't all whoa type of a song, but more of
Because
especially folk songs, pop songs.
yes, because I let the guitar student pick whatever songs they want. So when they come
Right.
up with something like Sister Golden Hair, from
Yeah.
a rock group, I don't do that. Of course, I just try and
Right. Yeah. Like,
Just-
whoa!
No.
Yeah, that wouldn't work for that style. Yeah.
yes.
And down the road, I think that you would enjoy playing with some stylistic diversity. And one of the best places to go first, you from where your default vocal coordinations are and your techniques are right now, would be to jazz.
Oh,
I think
wow.
singing jazz standards, Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan. I've got you under my skin, because it's kind of a hybrid between contemporary singing and classical singing.
My
I think you would
husband
enjoy
loves
that.
jazz, and I
Yeah.
have a lady that comes on Friday night, and that's exactly what she wants me to play for her on the piano while she does that. She
Well,
loves the
isn't this
jazz.
serendipitous and
Yes.
perfectly synchronistic that's another step for you? So your homework, I want you to listen to some of the greatest hits of Ella Fitzgerald, and just
Okay.
make note of what songs you feel attracted to working on.
Okay. Greatest hits of Ella Fitzgerald.
Yep, and you can put it on there on YouTube for free. If you have any music streaming services, you can
Oh,
look it
we
up
do.
there.
We do.
Great.
Greatest hits of Ella Fitzgerald. I know my friend Judy, who comes on Friday nights to sing that, and she loves all the female jazz singers, and yes.
Yeah, well,
She-
maybe
and-
pick a
and
song
blues.
that you know she likes
hmm
that then you could sing,
And I play it for her on
And,
the piano.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about how to sing jazz and how that's different from.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, but today I still want to focus on the classical. I've really been excited about where your voice is moving with your classical vocal production. So.
Okay, and I have not been back to the church choir.
Oh, you are. You've decided that. Listen, I feel like, Jane, that I'm all about you feeling empowered and supported, and I feel like every story that you share with me that happened there seems a little.
Oh,
So
it was really weird.
So,
Yeah, one of the members of the choir called me up at my husband's behest to try and talk me into coming back. And when I told him that I had been too many times insulted over there, and
Yeah.
so the bottom line was, he said to me, "Well, you're selfish and you don't love God." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Oh, well, I've been
What the
saying."
hell is going on at this
Yeah, I know.
church?
I said,
What? You
after
won't sing
that,
in the choir. You love Satan.
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And I couldn't believe it because this man is a very fine tenor, and he's a teacher himself. He's younger than me, and I said to him, like, I felt like saying, I'm old enough to be your mother. Please, and I just said to him, fine. I just let him
Good
rant.
for you.
I just said, fine. Well, he was very upset because when I rejoined the choir, he was the only tenor, and so they had me singing tenor with him. So, when he said that, I just thought, what is it that Rudyard Kipling said? There ain't no reasoning with the Bandar log. Remember
Yeah.
the Bandar log with the monkeys? All the
Yeah.
other animals avoided them because you couldn't reason with them.
Yeah.
I just thought that to myself, and I let it go. So I said,
Beautiful.
for sure, I'm never going to go back there.
I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. So we're building you up. We're not allowing you to be torn down anymore. So
Mm-mm.
absolutely. We'll find some new experiences for you where you can collaborate and sing with people that feels right. There's so many opportunities, and the more that things come online this year, there's going to be even more. So so
Okay.
good. All right, let's make some sounds. Here we go.
Okay.
Let it out. Let it go.
Okay. Oh, like a siren. Ooh. That's
Now
not
do
quite
this
what
for
you
me.
wanted. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
that's fine. We're just
Okay.
getting it going. Now I want you to do this. Go, hello. But I said, hell in my chest with, hello.
Oh, like Mrs. Doubtfire. Okay.
Exactly.
Hello.
Good. Yeah. Exercise to do because, it's funny you said Mrs. Doubtfire because I say, okay, let's do our hello, Mrs. Doubtfire voice. Because I actually say that, so it's funny you picked up on that. And what we're doing, when you make that sound, hello, it opens the back of your throat, it gets good vocal fold closure, and it has decent energy. So it does a lot of the things we're trying to activate. The only thing it doesn't have is vibrato, but that's okay, we're going to add that in. Hello!
Hello.
Good. Fullness feeling. Fo-e-o-e-o.
Foey. Okay.
Good. Now on this next one, see if you can get to a place where you activate that vibrato
Okay.
right away on the first note. So like,
Right away? Okay. No, I didn't get it.
it's okay.
Let me try.
Don't. When you do, if that happens, don't stop in the middle.
Okay.
Keep flowing through, even if it's not perfect, because when you do that, you train your mind that stopping is okay, and it messes with things. So go for it. Now we're up high enough to where that first note might need a little more vertical mouth, more space between your top teeth and your bottom teeth. Okay? Maybe you pushed a little bit too hard,
Okay.
but the space inside was good. And just understand, everything we do, every adjustment we make to your voice should be under the idea that it should not feel like you're fighting something, like you're forcing something. You should be having the discovery of, wow, my voice is getting bigger, but it also feels easier at the same time. This is the path we're on, okay? So just keep that. Nothing should make it, okay? Same thing, fo-e-o-e-o.
That felt better. And the reason I'm closing my eyes is I find my reflection here very distracting because it's like
Oh,
a mirror image,
yeah,
and
that
I don't like looking at that. I like looking
listen,
at
you're
you.
beautiful and you need to love your image. It's okay that I understand now looking, but like it's okay. But I get it. I totally
It's
get it.
distraction. I wish I could just do
It's looking
that.
great though. If you put a little thing in front of yourself, like maybe do you have like a little thing you can cover up that part of the screen if it's distracting?
Yeah. There you go. Same pitch. Okay.
Now I want to do this here. We're going to switch. I want to do what I call vibrato burst. And what a vibrato burst, the idea is this. Vibrato is most likely to come into the voice in the correct way at the end of long held notes and phrases. That's just kind of how vibrato works. So with this exercise, what we're doing is creating a bunch of ends of notes. So you breathe in between each one like this. Breathe. Breathing in between resets the mind and makes you think, oh, here comes another end of a note. It helps vibrato activate, okay?
So this is a triad, and it's on fo, e, and o.
Fo.
Oh, fo,
Breathe
fi,
in
fo.
between each one. Yep, 5, 3, 1, fo, fi, fo. Yep.
Fo, fi, fo.
Notice how there. And you started it right out of the gate. That's because your mind knew you were about to end the note. Isn't that weird?
The lady I told you about that loves jazz and comes on Friday nights and just has me play for her, she will hold out a note at the end of a piece. She has tremendous breath control. She has never once in her life smoked a cigarette. And and she will put a vibrato on at the end of a note after she's held it out, like while I play all kinds of stuff on the piano, and then she puts this little vibrato at the end of a note, and I turn around to, how do you do that? And she
You
said,
can do that, and don't think having smoked is a limitation on that. A lot of times when we have issues with running out of air, it doesn't have to do with damage of smoking or even, for that matter, taking in your air. 9 times out of 10, if we have issues with running out of air too quickly, it's because we're choosing a tone quality that uses too much air. Makes sense?
Yes.
And especially with your voice, being a more classical dominant type of voice out of the box, your tendency is to sing more in your head voice mix. And if you were to take your head voice down low into the range where jazz singers sing without switching into a decent amount of chest voice, what happens is you're going to run out of air too fast, because the head voice, when you take it too low and you don't switch to chest voice, it doesn't resist the air you're putting into it very well. It just leaks air. So like if you're down on a middle C, so in that tone, you can only sing in that tone for about 2 or 3 seconds. But if you're down there and you're in the mid, ba ba doo da ba doo da dee ba doo ba ba doo doo ba doo ba ba doo da. It's all about the tone quality. You understand?
yeah. Yes, absolutely. As I said, my husband scats all over the place. When I
I
used
love that. Yeah.
when I used to go to church, sometimes I turn around in the back pew and smack him and stop scatting over the organ, But actually, he imprinted. Yeah, amen. Right. Okay.
Oh, that's fun.
That was funny.
But just so you know, like that's how you would do it. If you're having a hard time, there's nothing wrong with your ability to sing long breath lines. You've got plenty of air. It's a matter of controlling how you release the air correctly. That's it.
Okay,
And that's
I
where
always
jazz
blamed
is
it
gonna
that
be
I.
great for you.
Okay, that's great. I'll try it. I always blamed it as I used to smoke, but I haven't.
No,
I
don't-
stopped
I think
smoking
that's
last
a
century, a long time ago.
I think it's technique. I mean,
Yeah.
I have to say, some of the greatest opera singers that I've ever worked with, when I lived in Europe, I lived in Germany, they all smoked cigarettes. They would go out, they were embarrassed by it too. They would go out in between first and second act of operas we were in and hide behind the bushes and smoke cigarettes, looking at the audience members smoking cigarettes. So, people have made, so I'm not saying obviously that encouraging that.
No, I wouldn't touch one. No.
Yeah, but anyway, so all right, good. That's good enough. Let's one other thing we'll do. I'm going to do a little bit of agility.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm going to need that if we're going to do some jazz. Yes, absolutely.
Yep. So
Fo, fo, fo.
As you do it, I want you to listen to how I did it.
Okay.
What I did was, the reason I do those first two vibrato bursts is so that I can activate an awareness of my vibrato speed. Then the third, when I get to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm trying to do those notes at the same speed of my vibrato, so that I use my vibrato as the articulator for the pitch. Listen. Now your vibrato, you have to hack into your vibrato's natural speed, and then you just wiggle up and down. So it's like at the speed of your vibrato.
I'll try. I will try.
Yeah, good. This is something new to practice.
Okay. Fo, fo, fo.
Now, a solid vibrato on the first two notes, so you didn't have a good reference to use for the moving up and down.
I'll learn. Vibrato bursts. Remember that. Okay,
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, come on, Jane, you can do it. Fo, fo, fo.
Good.
Little
So
better.
now, everybody, when they do this one, what happens is you'll do the vibrato, do it again, but as soon as you go to, the mind goes, I need to sing all those notes. But this little hack that I'm showing you is the trick that you can use to move your voice quickly, but not, it's almost like you need to let go. I'm going to sing with vibrato on the low note, wiggle up to the top note, then wiggle back down. Hopefully I hit with the oscillation of vibrato, but you have to be a little surrendered in it. It's like, like I hope I hit the notes, but I'm going to keep wiggling up and down, so try that.
Fo, fo, fo.
That's better. Go a little faster. It's all about backing into the, if your vibrato is going, you need to do it that fast.
Keep the same speed.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Keep it in the same gear. Okay.
Yep.
Fo, fo, fo.
Better.
Missed one
Yeah.
note in there.
It's better for it to be a little inaccurate, but wiggling consistently at this stage than it is to be meticulous. Because if you get too meticulous with the notes, you'll start using your vibrato. And if you watch great opera singers when they do runs, they look, their voice is moving so quickly, but they don't look like they're working too hard. They look like, they just look very.
Yes, they do.
Cecilia
And it's
Bartoli.
because they're using their vibrato to do it.
That's considered
Yeah,
a Cecilia Bartoli.
You said Chichi Bartoli?
Cecilia Bartoli.
Cecilia Bartoli?
She's a classic example. Yeah, exactly. Because she's famous for having good coloratura, which is what we call that in opera when you do the fast moving stuff. She's really she's a coloratura mezzo soprano. Many people in the classical voice community don't think she's an actual mezzo, though. They think she's a soprano who never figured her high notes out. But
Oh, that's,
I don't know. She's an amazing singer, though.
some people are such snobs that way. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Totally. But she's an incredible singer. A couple more of these.
Fo, fo, fo.
Quite hitting all the. If you keep playing with this, you're gonna the game of kind of letting it happen and putting the vibrato spins in the right place. But
Okay.
that was good. So we're gonna leave that as some homework for you. Okay.
Okay.
Good,
Vibrato
good.
burst and then vibrato burst and then coming down. Okay, let me get a little
Exactly,
water.
yeah,
It's
good.
dry in
All
here.
right. We'll continue to warm up in the song repertoire and do some placement work there. So,
Okay.
what would you like to sing first today?
There is a song that I've been. Oh, I put it. I know it's back here. Okay, it's back here. It's back here. There is a song that's been haunting me a little bit. Okay, and it's called Once